All right, let's get back to our top story. Basically, China taking center stage at the World Economic Forum in Dalian. And Roland, we need your lowdown on that because we know that China's about to hold its third plenum. We heard from Olivia and Sihui just now. And there's also a trade friction between China and the US over EV as well as other issues. So in a nutshell, what are some of the key business takeaways that you've gathered from the forum?
Well, it comes at a testing time for China, I think. Beijing is confident that it'll grow its economy by 5% this year. But one of its biggest pillars of the economy, that's the property sector, the real estate sector, well, that's still the biggest drag on the economy. So it's actually looking outwards to shore up more business, to attract more foreign direct investments into the country. So no surprises, Premier Li Qiang took the opportunity to actually make a sales pitch for investing and doing business in China. So the fact that China has a supersized market of 1.4 billion consumers, the fact that there's been a rapid rise in technologies and that there are companies with complete industrial systems that can help new ideas and companies test these ideas. So Mr. Li also mentioned that US's small yard high fences approach to China, which is basically the strategy of restricting advanced technologies to China for fear that things like advanced chips could be used for the military. He's of the opinion, Mr. Li that is, that this small yard high fences approach really won't hold back the development of others, and that really the right thing to do is to create an open and fair and a non-discriminatory playing field so that innovation and protecting of intellectual property rights is key.
And that's why Premier Li is urging all these nations not to decouple. So in other words, as you're trying to make their pitch and you're trying to woo investors, what are some of the areas that China is calling for greater collaboration as well as investments?
Right, so Mr. Li has expressed optimism in emerging technologies like AI and big data, but he also warned of the dangers that these technologies will cause in terms of structural unemployment as well as economic inequality. So he says the way out of this is really to coordinate the development of these new technologies and then actually improve the governance framework so that it's a more inclusive development that's all can benefit. So basically we're talking about training and the education of the vulnerable groups as well as the upskilling of workers. And let's also not forget Premier Li's Asia-Pacific tour recently to Australia, New Zealand and Malaysia. He was pushing for trade and academic ties between these countries. In Australia, a memorandum of understanding was signed between Peking University as well as Monash University in areas of carbon neutrality as well as life sciences. In Malaysia, there were deals signed on high-level manufacturing and the digital economy. So these are typically the type of industries that China wants to collaborate with the rest of the region.
Right, and it sounds like there's quite a lot of areas that they're looking for to invest and collaborate. Well, thanks so very much, Roland, for your business updates.